Today I'm going to give you my tips and tricks on how to use pattern paper to pick a color palette. Super easy, and we're going to be using some super cute products today. Let's get into the coloring. All right, to start off my coloring, I'm going to color up my little capybaras. I think is how you say it. I don't really know. The stamp set is Cute Capybara from Scrappy Boy Stamps, but we're going to color them in a couple different shades of brown using the same color family. And I matched some of the colors to the pattern paper that I'm going to be using later on in the project. I like to do that a lot. I like to go ahead and use that pattern paper for my project, and I like to pull the colors from it. Like for our little brown parts right here, I'm using E59, E55, E27, and E23 for the first little section here with their dark muzzles and their little feet and their hands. Which actually came straight from one of the pattern papers that I'm going to be using on the card in a little bit. So I'm started off with that. That was the one color that I picked out so that I could go ahead and get that base in. I like to go ahead and get that darker color in to begin with. So back to the coloring for a second. We're going to go ahead and blend that out with the E23. And by the way, if you're wondering why I don't use music in the videos when I color, because I don't think you learn as much as you do if I walk you through my coloring process and my thinking process while I'm coloring. So that's why we don't use music on this channel normally. All right, so for our little body, I'm going to use some of those same colors. I'm going to use E20. Let's see, we used E27, E23 as our darker mid-tone. I'm using 25 right now. It's the same grouping of colors. I've just added a couple additional colors in there to go along with our pattern paper. I did a tone and a shade. The shade would be the dark. The tone is going to be, or sorry, tint, not a shade. Tint means it just has lighter and has white added to it. So that's why our body is going to be a little bit lighter. Same color family, just a little bit lighter. I also added in E51 and E31 to this mix as my lightest color to give it a nice beige kind of color for his body. And it still ties into our pattern paper. You'll see in a minute. We're going to go ahead and color up our other little capybara as well because he's such a cute little thing with his little wrapped up in his little blankie. So some of you may be wondering, why do I pick colors from pattern paper? Well, basically because the company who designed the pattern paper has done all the color mixing work for me, and I can find colors that coordinate super easy by just picking that color palette from pattern paper. It makes it super easy to do. And I don't have to worry about finding a color palette online, coming up with it myself, or using another tool, which we are going to be using eventually. I have a new tool we're going to be using, actually a couple new tools we're going to be using very soon. We're going to kick off a couple new series coming up this year where we're going to be talking about color and getting your mojo started when you're in a slump. Or basically is what it is. It's just going to be an idea to help you get that over that creative slump and make something in a fun way. That's going to be one of them, which will be coming up soon. And then we're going to use the color cube, and we're going to use Palette Scout. If you've not heard of either one of those, watch out for the color series that will be coming up, because we will be using both of those tools to create different color palettes and find our color palettes. And I'll show you how to match them to your projects and your supplies that you have and how I do it. So back to the project for a minute. I'm going to go ahead and add a little rosy cheeks into our little cute little critters there. Now moving on to my next tone that I have pulled out from my pattern paper. I went with the orange. It's going to be in my pattern paper. So I'm going to repeat that color at least 2 to 3 times on any project. When I pick a color, I try to repeat that color a couple times, 2 to 3 times at least, so that it ties everything in and keeps everything harmonious, which is the fancy word for looks good together, basically. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to finish coloring up this color. And by the way, it's if you're interested, the Copic combo is YR16, YR14, Y38, and Y7. For the green, I use G16, YG09, G05, and G14. So we're going to color up our little books, and I did add the rind in on the little melon that our other little guy's eating over there. So we're going to go ahead and color that up. And all these colors, again, I have pulled from this pattern paper that I've selected. And I'm using the Cute Capybara pattern 6x9 pattern paper pack from Scrappy Boy Stamps because it coordinates with our supplies that we are using. So we're going to go ahead and color that. I did go back and add a little bit of color to the books. And I used one of the two lightest colors I used on their bodies. It was E31 and E51 for the books. I'm going to go ahead and cut these out with the coordinating dies. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that onto my little platform, wrap the little die around it, and I'm going to take some repositionable Scotch tape and add that to hold that into place. And we will just run that through the die cutting machine after we get the other die lined up. But that is how I really pick a lot of my color palettes that I use on my cards. I start off with the pattern paper and kind of pick my markers from that after I have picked my stamp set sometimes. Or sometimes if it has a coordinating stamp set, I'll go ahead and use that. But that's how I get to the color palette that I want to use. So now I'm going to continue with my color palette. And I've taken just plain white die cuts. And I'm going to color each one of these circles one of the colors that we have used in our color palette. And this way, or in our coloring. And this way, everything will still coordinate. And I didn't have to buy additional supplies, different colored cardstocks. I could just use my markers and get a tone that I used in my coloring and that matches my pattern paper so that everything is nice and cohesive. So for our little green circle, I just use G16 as the color. And for the orange one here, I just use YR16. Use those colors in our coloring so everything will match. I do go around the edge of the circles or die cut so that it doesn't look like white cardstock. It is colored. It looks like a solid colored cardstock. That makes a big difference as well. So I'm going to go ahead and the smallest circle, I colored the lightest color that I used for their fur, which was actually the next to lightest color. I used E31, I believe. Could have been E51, could have been the lightest. Now, here are my pattern papers I picked. That's the pattern that I picked my colors from. And then this is just an additional pattern that I chose to match it with. I'm going to use a piece of craft cardstock, top folding card base. I'm going to add my base layer to the card, which is a green leafy pattern, tone on tone. I like to have a tone on tone pattern, a bolder pattern, and then a geometric, not as bold pattern as well. Pattern that stands out but not as bold, which is our little plaid right here. If you're interested in the sketch, it is from Scrappy Boy Stamps Inspiration Group. They do a sketch every month starting this year on the 15th of the month. And this is the one for January 2026. And that paper I cut at 2 3/4, I believe. That largest piece. Let's see, it was 2 3/4 by 3 1/2. And I just cut it at the diagonal. And then spaced it apart. Now I'm going to layer up my little circles here. That way we can continue on with our color palette. So I've given you a few tips on how to get your color palette from pattern paper. So that should be able to help you. We're going to go ahead and finish building up our card. I'll walk you through the rest of this process. We're going to add foam tape behind our sentiment to pop that up and make it stand off of our card. We could have used any of that yellow color as well for any of these elements. But I chose to stick with the orange because I like to repeat it, like I said, 3 times. We're going to add our little guys right here. I'm going to add the one eating his little melon on the right-hand side. And then I'm going to add the one with her reading her book and her little blankie on the left-hand side. The sentiment says, "You're the sweetest," on the outside. And we're going to pop her up over on the left-hand side. I'm going to open the card up. And then I remembered, because I was going to stamp one on the inside. And then I remember I had an insert already pre-cut that I had cut a piece of white. Cut by 4 by 5 1/4, and Rick totally forgot that he had it, and I just looked over and saw it right before I stuck this down. So we're going to pull our white piece in. I'm going to attach that pattern paper to that to tie our color palette onto the inside as well. So we have that little touch of green on the inside of our card. I'm going to stamp another little capybara onto the inside of the card. And I just used rich cocoa ink because it was brown, so it tied in. It matched our brown that I've used. So I tap it a couple times. I'm going to go ahead and stamp another sentiment on the inside as well. I stamped, "You're my favorite part of the story." I thought that was a sweet sentiment for the inside and tied in with the outside elements going on. So we've got our inside, we've got coordinating colors on that as well, all pulled from our pattern paper. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this to our card base. And we'll go ahead and pop that in. And I'm going to I'll get that into place. And we will go ahead and add a little bit of glitter to the books to get a little bit of sparkle. I did it to the melon as well. And then I'm going to do a little bit into their ears, just so there's a little bit of sparkle going on. I did do the tongues, and I did the blanket around her little body. And then I'm going to add some white gel pen highlights. So I'm going to go around making sure, because that glitter is not dry yet, I'm going to go around and clean up any areas I might have got out of the lines. And I'm going to add the highlights only in the spots where I have not added the glitter at this point. By the time I get done with that, that glitter should be dry enough that I can add some highlights into those as well. I'm going to brighten up their little eyes, and I'm going to add some highlights right there. Now, see, our glitter is dry. I can add some highlights into those areas where we did not add highlights before. I did add a little rind to our little melon as well with the white gel pen. I'm going to add a few little highlights right in there and over here. I like to hide the highlights. Now I'm going to take a black pen and I'm going to darken up their eyes just a little bit, making sure not to go over the white that I added. That way they will stand out a little bit more than what they have been. So now here's a look at our card based off our pattern paper and our color palette. Here's a closer look at the card. I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys, stay crafty, love you.